Welcome. Welcome to 2017 Toy Talks. And I'm Azama. I was the 2012 ACTFL National Language Teacher of the Year. I like this cloud already, okay. Look, okay, and oops, did I do something wrong? Okay, hold on. And this is my talk. I'll let you read. Okay, so here I am. I agreed to give this talk 6 months ago. And have you ever agreed to something then later you regret, not regret, but you really thinking like, oh no, what did I just sign up for, you know? And what do you do when that happens? I got scared. I started running. Literally, I just started running into the opposite direction. And actually, I accomplished something. I completed 3 5Ks and 2 10K runs, and finally, a half marathon last weekend. I know, it's not crazy. You know what fear does to you, but some people say that fear and then stress can bring the best out of you, and see how it goes. But the last one though, you see, me and students, that was special. 20 students of mine joined in the run with me and raised money to support homeless youth in Salinas. So we'll get to that later more. But first thing first, we're in Nashville, Music City. So nice to be greeted by Johnny Cash and other music legends when I arrived at the airport. So I couldn't help myself thinking this one question. If I were to give a music genre for my classes, what would that be? To me, it's easy. It's the 80s pop. Quirky lyrics and catchy riffs, people hum, and fun, uplifting, and that's what my students describe my class as. And fun, his class is fun, engaging, and so forth. But I knew that my students, after the bell rang for the day, they're going home to a totally different reality. I've had a student who told me he's used to not eating. Although his parents both work 2 jobs, they still struggle to put food on the table sometimes. I had a student brought me deposit money for a field trip, $15 deposit money, all in coins, and that was still $3 short. And her parents couldn't write a check. And also I remember a kid who's wearing the white, earbuds, but not attached to any device, trying to fit in. So I examined my instruction, and I had to realize that my instruction is not authentic to their life. So that was a tough moment. That's when I realized that I had to introduce new type of music to my lesson. The blues. Blues deals with human struggles and the raw form of human struggles and human experiences and emotions. As a result, it has the power to connect all of us. So my student teacher at that time and I sat down to include this blues into our lessons. And we picked this topic called My Town. My Town, traditionally, is a unit where students learn about different features of Japan. Great food and people are nice, and I felt like I was a spokesperson for Japan Travel Bureau. Okay, welcome to Japan, Mr. Bond. That was me. And I thought it was great that I could transport my students to Japan for 55 minutes and show them good time. But again, I knew that those kids are going home to a totally different reality, the reality that doesn't resemble what I've taught that day. So my student teacher and I sat down. Okay, the fun is good. That's a reality too. But we have to introduce challenges and struggles Japan's towns are facing. So we started brainstorming. We came up with many ideas, such as the lack of accessibility for people with disabilities in Japan. And also, we learned that there's a huge aging population in Japan. And result of that, there are many ghost towns happening around the rural area of Japan. And poverty. So poverty, specifically child poverty, is something that we chose as a point of entry to our lesson. It's a really touchy topic, especially to our students. 800 homeless students, there were 800 homeless students in Salinas, 2007. Now, 10 years later, the number, 10 times more, 8,000 in Monterey County. So it's really touchy subject. But it's kind of elephant in the room. No one talks about it, but like it's there. So as we, students and I, explore this really rich topic, we learn so much about it. For example, there's a phenomenon called share house idea. What it is that multi-family sharing a dwelling. So many families, different families, start sharing common area in the house in Japan. And also, we learned that there's a huge child poverty among single mother homes. I still remember first week when I introduced this data to our students, and students' reaction was like this. Okay, so what? That's how it is. Then I said, yeah, you know what, come to think of it, I agree. I mean, women are less intelligent, and they don't deserve, much paycheck like men. It's totally fine. Their jaw dropped. I cannot believe you said that. I said, exactly, it's wrong. Keep that energy, keep that anger, keep that frustration throughout this unit. Let's keep going, shall we? We also learned that children in Japan are helping other children overcoming this issue. And we also learned that 1 out of 5 children in the US is living under poverty. And in Japan, do you think it's better? It's 1 out of 6. In the case of Salinas, 1 out of 4. So, and then I asked them 3rd week into this lesson, so you learn about this, all these things. Now it's your job to come up with the solutions to solve this problem. Right? It's a big question. Honestly, my expectation was really low. Frankly, I did not have any ideas what I'm talking about. I had no ideas for solutions. And I don't think our society had ideas either. So here I am, I'm asking my 3rd-year Japanese, mostly juniors, to come up with the solutions for this problem. 30 minutes later, I found out I was wrong. They came up with wonderful ideas. And one of them I still remember. So one group raised their hand. I think we have a solution. Okay, what is it? Braulio. Okay, so we see that single mothers have high rates of child poverty. Government should host a speed dating event for single mothers. Okay, exactly, that was the reaction, we laughed, right? So I'm thinking, okay, keep going. Well, hear me out, okay. Here's the thing, so they meet potential husbands, double income, come out of poverty, and the kids will have new dads. Win, 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 all around win. You know what? Is it a bad idea, really? Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I'd rather my tax money to be spent on that. It's kind of fun to watch, if it works. It might work, you never know. So that kind of creative thinking, creative idea can come from out-of-box lesson, such as this. And so that was like a wake-up call for me. And they started having a voice, and naturally they became, they were inspired to do something about it. So guess what? These students organized events, food events. It's called Taste of Japan events. They created rice balls and miso soup, and gave out to all the student body at school during lunchtime. Not a certain group of students, but for all to enjoy. Because we knew that 75% of our students in the free lunch program, and many of them do not eat lunch for whatever reasons. They don't want to stay in a big, long line, or they don't want to be seen standing in that line, for whatever reason. So we've been doing that every month. And the voice, the student's voice, that's something that really I learned from. From this lesson and my students, they helped me remember once I was. I was the kid, when I was in the middle school, I was the kid who organized a walkout event to protest the strict hairstyle rule that school had. 50 students and I walked out and, to protest because we thought that was a human rights issue. I was a teenager and punk rocker. For me to have a long hair, funky hair, was a human rights issue. It's very important. And that walkout was shut down immediately. But hey, we made a local news a little bit in the newspaper. That was awesome, right? But 30 years later, look at this, what I have, okay? And then also, 8 years after that, here's my picture. I know, I never reveal myself in 21-year-old Azama. I was going against Gulf Wars happening that time, 1991, when no one else seemed to care, my classmates. I know, right? Yeah, thank you. But here's the thing, though. When I became a teacher, my voice started diminishing it. I became more conventional, didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I felt uncomfortable not having answers, solutions to complex problems. So what happened to me? It takes courage to show up every day. Even harder to be transparent about it with our students. Isn't it ironic? As a language teacher, we teach language to communicate. But if our students don't develop the voice, if they don't find their voice, how can they communicate to the world in a more authentic way? I'll let you read that. As teachers, the most precious gift we can give to our students is to teach them or help them find their voice. But in order to do that, first we have to start talking about the things that matter to us and matter to our students. Thank you.